All right. Good morning, everyone. Slightly late again, but we are still here. Um, we're gonna go ahead and start looking at the charts, see what we got going on for today, and pull up TradingView right now. Here we go. So, crazy last few days, guys. Crazy last few days. Crypto's going crazy. I don't know. My mind has been so far out of the trading verse and into the crypto verse lately. Like I'm not even. I don't know. It's just I feel like there's gonna be so much. I don't know. I'm just excited for next cycle. Like the Bitcoin crash. Like I don't know. It's been on my mind. It's been on my mind, but anyway, we gotta focus on actual trading here. Well, it's all actual trading, but we gotta focus on. Um, let's focus in on the market for today. So, all right, what up, Chess? How's it going? My bad for being a little late, but we're here. We're here. I didn't even show up yesterday, so that's not good. But the reason is my phone died, so my alarms didn't go off, which sucked. But okay, so what do we got going on? Let's just start top down, right? Obviously, we've been crashing. That's pretty obvious. Oh, and let's get out Forex Factory. I'm good, bro. Let's get out Forex Factory. Let's get out Trade-of-8, and let's get out um, Discord. So, getting all these things out. Let me know what you're thinking. I will be starting, by the way, guys, for everyone wondering about my live account, I will be starting my live account up, I would say probably within the next 2 weeks. Um, it's coming, but still just trading on Sim right now. So, I guess, actually, first, what are you guys all thinking? What are you guys all thinking? Yeah, how should we start doing this? Let's look at draws and liquidity. So we just took a PM high. Higher time frame has obviously been going lower. What you gonna do? What do you mean? What am I gonna like? What do you mean? What am I gonna do? I'm just trading the same as I've always been on this account. Okay, so you want a little down somewhere 24,640 or something, and then stack longs. I could see that. I'm just gonna start marking out draws and liquidity. I'm not totally sure. I'm not really sure at all yet. And you know what? That's fine. We're just gonna mark out draws and liquidity, and then we'll start to get an idea. Oh, you were wondering what I'm gonna be trading on? Oh yeah. Um, yeah, I'm just trading on the same account I've been trading on. So it's completely the same as before. But for the sake of, saving up and just doing it all at once, I'm still just saving up. Okay, so we swept out PM high. Let's get a look at your opens. And why am I not getting SMTs? I feel like there should be more SMTs than this. I don't know. I don't know yet. Um, what was I gonna look at? The Oh yeah, I was gonna get the rest of the true opens to show up. Okay. Okay, so this is a 12-hour gap. But, you know, we're obviously expanding up. I think F is kind of right about this. Like we might get a retracement and then a continuation higher. Still just gathering ideas right now. Here's 7:30. Do we have news today? We have news at 10 a.m. We have news at 10 a.m. So maybe I'm just still waking up, but I don't know yet. I'm still deciding what I'm thinking. Yeah, what are you guys all thinking? I feel like in a situation like this is where event horizons will be helpful when there's not really any new day opening gaps, and it's just super wide between the new week opening gaps. Maybe we can go to NDOG. This one right here. Yeah, the most recent NDOG. That'd make kind of sense. Hard time frame is bearish, but you know, getting this placement up. Yeah. I mean, guys, on one hand, I guess this has been a classic expansion week, huh? So this has been a classic expansion week. Right. So this actually should not be that complicated. We had a classic expansion week to the downside where Monday manipulated into true month open. Okay, I'm starting to get an idea. Hold up. I'm starting to get an idea. We had true month open here. Monday manipulated into true month open. Right? So you see how this is classic expansion, right? Manipulation and then distribution. Now we might get a TGIF. Okay. Starting to get my thoughts together here. Yeah, we did not manipulate true day open. This is true. That is something to think about. But we might get this retracement, like you're saying, like going down, maybe back to true day open. I'm just wondering, maybe it's TGIF though. I think that's a pretty logical train of thought. Is this, could be TGIF, and then true week open got manipulated here. Sorry guys, I'm just gathering thoughts still. So, looks like to me it's been a classic expansion week. But we might need to go back lower first. How much of the weekly range is TGIF usually go? About 30% or 50%? We kind of already have gone 30%, honestly. Maybe TGIF's over. Yeah, I'm still just gathering my thoughts. Let me know what you guys are thinking. As always, I don't want to get tunnel vision. We just swept PM high. I mean, is there really not SMT with these highs? There's no SMTs. NWOGs in the buy side is also fulfilled, but not in the NDOG. Oh. Interesting. Maybe you might have to send me a screenshot of that, because I want to know what you're talking about. Yeah, there really has been no SMTs. I had to double check it because it just feels so weird, but there's no SMTs. Yeah, it's definitely a tricky situation. Cause like on one hand, it could be TGIF. On the other hand, this is a pretty bearish week. Overnight gaps. We're gonna have an overnight gap down to 605. So that might want to get filled. And then this is kind of like this is an implied gap here. Look at the IFEG under New York Open. If it's got invalidated. Yeah, it's kind of looking like it might be time for shorts. Yeah. Wait, the IFEG. The IFEG. Look at the IFEG under New York Open. If it's got invalidated. I don't know what IFEG. Oh, this one? Yeah, it kind of does look. It does look like we're gonna go lower here. We're rejecting this imbalance here. I'm saying that with a grain of salt because I'm not exactly sure yet, but 1 minute IFEG. Yeah, might need to go down there. Yeah, we might just come fill in this RTH gap. But, you know, if it wants to do TGIF, then we might retrace this whole 30% of this range. And I do want to figure out what's 30% of this. How much does TGIF usually go? I forgot. We've already gone 30%. Kirk's asking bias. We're trying to figure that out right now. So we've already kind of gone 30%. So I think we got a case to retrace back into this RTH gap. We've already gone 30% and the market's just super bearish. And now we have a bearish S&T at the high. What time is it? Oh, what? Wait, it's market open right now? Okay, we might end up rejecting this gap here. I'm going to probably do a tape read right here. I think we're going to get a 15-second change of state and then dump. Oh, it's happening too fast. There's no entry. There's no entry. Yeah, I think we're gonna go dump to fill this overnight gap. Yeah, here we go. I think this is happening. Oh. It's got a bullish inversion on the 15-second. I would, it looks like a fun trade to take, but also I'm not necessarily bullish right now, so I wouldn't have taken that. Because it might be inducing longs to go fill the RTH gap. With the RTH gap below, I just don't really want a long. Because I don't know if it's, yeah, that's just me. We still have this 1 minute gap with this 1 minute breaker. Honestly, I think this will probably take us lower to go fill this RTH gap, but it needs to kind of depend on this 1 minute gap here. If this 1 minute gap holds, actually, and then this 5 minute gap as well. Yep, I was right. There you go. Yeah, I was right to question that 15-second inversion because, I mean, although it kind of looked decent, right? You can just kind of tell, like, well, we haven't had a failed one yet. Usually I kind of want to see something fail first. And also the overnight gap below. Now longs are working. I'm kind of surprised, honestly. I'm not like, oh wow, yeah, that actually makes sense. Look at the 5 second. That was a good 5 second. That actually makes a lot of sense. Never mind. I'm not so surprised anymore. That 5 second, had I seen that 5 second, I probably would have taken that, honestly. Yeah. That actually makes a lot of sense. And we had so many bullish SMTs. But, you know, the reason is just the signature on this is just super nice. You'll see like how textbook this is, sweep of the low, and then with this really nice closure. Well, anyway, we still have the RTH gap below, so I think you could still be bearish. And this very well might just be a Judas swing, right? I'm kind of thinking like the TGIF that we were like that you might think we would get today. I think we already went 30% of the weekly range, so I don't know how much of the weekly range do you usually go for TGIF. I mean, I could have gone in from the bottom if I just seen it, right? There was a 5 second inversion there that was, had a really good signature. Where's the first presented for value gap? First presented for value gap is super fat and ugly looking. But I like this. I like this one from PM. And I like this old one from, what, yesterday? Okay, I think yesterday's is a little nicer than today's. I'll probably use yesterday's if we get anything. We're also rejecting this one. Oh, we just got a pin bar. Rejecting this PM gap here. Whoops. There you go. We're getting a inversion here. I'll probably just tape read this. I'm not taking this, but this very well might just deliver us down. Reason I'm not taking it is because it's very bullish. If it wants to be bullish, it will be bullish. But I just, I don't know. I kind of see this as a Judas swing, right? It's not obvious enough. I don't think it sucks. I think that 5 second inversion was fire. Had I seen that 5 second inversion, like I don't think it sucks. I just think one of the hard parts about trading is you have to see the exact moment that it happens, and you have to be anticipating it. And sometimes you don't always, you know, you don't always catch it at that exact moment. Sometimes you'll see it like a little bit after the fact, and that makes it hard. But it's all good. Still have the overnight gap below. And like I said, if it wanted to be bullish, well, now it's being bullish. But I don't know, man. It's just I'm not convinced of either side necessarily. Honestly, if it wants this to be a Judas swing, I would not be surprised, and then we could just start dumping. How much? Let's try and figure out how much of a weekly range usually we get for TJF. Oh, Chess sent me something. Chess said, "Here's Chess's image he sent me. Maybe come up." Yeah, that's a very possible outcome. I want to see how much of the weekly range do we usually get TJF. 30% of the weekly range. We are past 30%. So much seller getting absorbed. Is this normal for NQ? Um, Probably not. Guys, we've gone way past 30% of the weekly range. And that's kind of what I thought. I was pretty sure it was 30%. We've gone more than 30%. We've gone like 35% now. I think we have a case for this to be a Judas swing and then go lower. But I gotta wait for something obvious. And you'll note that that 5 minute gap that was originally being respected got inversed, and now you can see that 5 minute inverse. Right, this is now a 5 minute inversion for value gap. Now has started to expand us higher, and we back test it here. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we just start to fall back in. Oh, you know what I would love to see? If this is a Judas swing for New York session, We should go to the session stat map. Yeah, we're at the opening range statistical max distribution level. We just hit that. Oh, that's great, bro. That's awesome. I'm glad it's helpful for you. Okay, I feel like, man, there's something here. I think there's. We just inverse this. I don't think it's obvious enough to take, but I do think it might send us lower. Maybe it is. Maybe you take it. We hit the opening range statistical distribution level. I think we're going to go lower now. And then New York statistical manipulation level hit. And it's a, 2-minute outside bar. So, retest of this as an OB. Right, this is the outside bar getting retested right here. So if y'all want to take this 2-minute outside bar, you can. Where it's a retest of this, and then we go lower. I don't think that's, I don't think that's half bad, but I don't know. I'm trying to be a little bit more precise. I think we're backtesting this old first presented for value gap now, so if we can get a lower time frame change in state. Yeah, this is looking like 2022 model on the 15-second. We just broke structure off the statistical opening range distribution level. Whoops. Now we're tapping equilibrium. We might need more internal manipulation, right? We might need more internal manipulation. Now this 15-second has inversed, but or maybe it's all good. Maybe we'll go lower from here. We just tapped OTE. Once again, there's been nothing obvious enough for me. So I'm just sitting here on my hands. But I'm honestly expecting us to fall back in the range. 2022 models, guys, they work the best when it's been like that Wyckoff thing that I've talked about, where it's been like purge once, purge twice, purge 3 times, then a displacement leg, then a fair value gap. That's when the 2022 model works the best, from what I've seen. Like that has not happened yet here, right? We've only had like 1 purge, 2 purge. Now it's a 3rd purge. So like I said, like if we ended up purging and then eventually coming and creating another side of the curve and then tapping a fair value gap, that would look good. For here, like this, you could have argued was a 2022 model, but it's, in my opinion, it's not a good enough 2022 model. I mean, that's just my opinion, though. And then you can see it end up getting inversed back up. So I'm just sitting on my hands here. Now we just swept out this high. We might inverse this. If this inverses, this could be a good trade for you if you wanted to take it, right? Once again, I'm probably not going to. It's just not obvious enough for me yet. I'm just watching. I feel like we should fall back in the range. I don't know. I personally think we've gone 30% of the weekly range retraced. I think it's super bearish, and I think we'll continue lower, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm wanting shorts, guys. What draws and liquidity do we even have to the upside left? What is this? A market open wick. Okay, so we might need to take this market open wick. That, that's perfectly reasonable. Also, keep in mind we do have news at 10 a.m. If the market wants to reverse with that news, it totally could. Once again, I'm honestly kind of anticipating like us to fall back within this range here, and this very possibly have this be a Judas swing. What? LMAO. Wait, what did I say? What did I say that was funny? Oh, because it rejected 950. Oh, it rejected 950 perfectly. I see why you're laughing. Yeah, is this a market open wick? I mean, I feel like maybe it is. 950 wick. Man, I feel like it should turn bearish. Like, I'm anticipating it, but yeah, we got a session high there. So there's New York session high there. The problem is we're in discount. Yeah, I mean, the problem for shorts is we're in discount. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think TGIF already played out. I think 30% of the weekly range has already been hit, right? Look at this. Here's the weekly range. Now maybe I guess you could say it's 50% of the weekly range is TGIF. If that's the case, then maybe we still go up to these low resistance highs. Man, it might end up it might be 30 to 50%, honestly. I don't even know the statistics on TGIF, to be honest. I mean, this, I will admit, this does look kind of bullish, and we do have low resistance highs over here. Yeah, guys, I might be wrong about the bearish thing. I think if it does want to, it could just start to run through these low resistance highs. I mean, this is good. This is good low resistance liquidity. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's not good. It's good low resistance liquidity. If it wants to go here, it probably will. Why don't you pair with Bookmap? Uh, Honestly, I don't know how to do that. I'm interested to learn, but you also can pretty you also can tell where orders are simply by looking at the chart and looking at where the highs are positioned and whether they're low resistance or high resistance. Like, you don't absolutely need it, but I do think it's interesting, and I'm interested to learn more about it. Yeah, dude, 950 is holding price very well. So I'll say this. If we inverse this, we'll probably run the low resistance highs. Yeah, I think TGIF. I think I'm gonna have to correct myself. I think it's usually anywhere from 30 to 50%. And if that's the case, we might go 50% and then run this LRLR. And if that happens, then that kind of makes sense. Very logical target here. If the market wants to go run this, it very well might. We got 8 minutes till this 1 hour candle closes. Hey, what up, Sweet Rolf? How's it going? Okay, I think it's very possible that yeah, it's just maybe not bearish at all. We got these low resistance highs. Well, I'm just watching and waiting, waiting for the market to just call my name. I haven't really seen anything that I like, so I think the market, I think when you see something you like, you'll know it, right? Like I liked this 5 second inversion right here. I think this was pretty good. And so it just goes to show, like, when you see something you like, yeah, we got news at 10. So I'm just sitting on my hands and I'm waiting. I'm not seeing anything I like. But for instance, this, we had like 5 S&Ts. Like that, I liked this. Once again, you guys, you just got to be patient, and like if there's nothing you see, then just do nothing. That's the reality of it. Like for me, nothing right now. But that 5 second inversion was fire. So yeah, it's possible news. Maybe news runs us back lower, but it's also possible news delivers us to this LRLR, right? I'm open minded right now. I'm very open minded. We ended up using this. I think we used this Thursday first presented for value gap. Kind of. Not really. Because ES is about to take it. Oh, good point. Good point. So yeah, if ES takes it, then maybe we'll reverse here. Once again, we've already gone way past 30% of the weekly range for TGIF. This inversion looks kind of okay. I don't mind it. There you go. That's a 1 minute death candle. Okay, I don't mind that at all. I'm gonna take that.
Order filled.
So I'm going break even now. And I'm now realizing that I kind of messed this up because um, technically I shouldn't have been able to take it because y'all can see risking 1 micro contract does not work here, right? Risking 1 micro contract, the stop loss is way too tight. So technically I wasn't supposed to take it, but I don't know. Sometimes you just kind of have to, go off of instincts. So. Okay, I'm taking profit there.
Order filled.
So there you go. That's obviously I could have held it further, but I'm content with that. The reason I liked this trade, guys, is because of this death candle, right? Immediate death candle, very obvious signature, and you go break even there. So yeah, I'm all out. And now I'm going to go on a little walk. So that was what, like 2R? Now it ended up being like 3R, but it was really only supposed to be 2R because I messed up the risk. But it's all good. Yeah, it was really only supposed to be like 2R. It ended up being 3R. So, because I messed up the risk. So I'm going to go on a walk here, and then, I'll come back. Anyway, W. Massive W. Massive W. Yeah. So, unlimited break-evens and wins. I can keep going. But yeah, I think that was more of a scalp type of trade, personally. Yeah. I think he could have held that, but I don't know. It's whatever. That was very obvious trade. I'm not gonna lie. That was very obvious. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. We like that. There you go. Good morning, Javier. I hit a 2R. On paper, it was a 3R, but it should have been a 2R. So, yeah, W. I could have held it longer, but once again, I don't want to. I that trade, I don't have higher time frame conviction. I just I just saw it as a scalp opportunity, period, and so I took it as a scalp. It is in the macro though, so that inversion has happened at the very start of the macro, so I wouldn't be surprised if we just continued lower. Thanks, Peter. Appreciate it. We're now rejecting this PM first presented for ViGap. And now we have a 15-second change in state here. So this likely is going to play out first strike to the downside. So nice. I'll check it after I'm done live trading. So I think I'll just tape read this. I don't feel like taking it because I just took a W. But if this comes up here, and it already would have gone, so you would have gotten filled here, right? So 15-second change in state, and then run this down. We got market open lows. Very nice draw on liquidity here. Market open lows, and then the RTH midpoint, right? The RTH midpoint will be a really nice draw on liquidity as well. But now it's pretty clear that we're turning bearish, in my opinion. This is kind of what I was thinking could happen. Now there is bullish S&T, but like guys, I don't know. In my opinion, TGIF is over. In my opinion, we're going back lower. You can just see the first strike playing out right here, right? Y'all see first strike playing out here, right? I would not mind this. What up, Sweet Roaf? How's it going? I'm just tape reading this. Is it glitching? No, it looks normal to me. This first strike is, I think this first strike is super nice. I think it's likely going to play out. Once again, I did not see it on the entry. Oh man, I'm sorry. Well, I don't know what the heck's going on with your 15-minute chart. Oh, what the? What the? You mean from here to here, right? Yeah, there's a giant... What the heck? No, yeah, that's glitched. It's glitched. What the heck? That's so weird. Ah, man, what the... Yeah, it is glitched. You're right. You're right. You're right. Dude, that's weird. But yeah, once again, this right here, nice first strike entry, right? To run down to the market open low. Also glitched on 4-minute. Yeah, it is, huh? Dude, what the heck? Yeah, I think we're going to go lower here, guys. I think we're going to go lower. We might need to retest this, right? If this does retest, it could be an opportunity for another first strike to re-enter. But like I said, I would just be tape reading this because I don't really know if it's gonna turn bullish. In all honesty, I think it's bearish now, but if it wants to go to the LRR above, then it could. So I don't have like a high degree of conviction. I think it probably is bearish, but like I said, I'm not. I already took my trade, or I took a trade already. So right now I'm more conservative. Once again, if this retests this change in state delivery, that could be an optional entry for you. But right now I'm just tape reading. Yeah, I mean, this is very textbook of the 10 a.m. the 10 a.m. macro. Y'all saw how that 10 a.m. right at 10 a.m. we got the 2-minute inversion, and then we started expanding lower. It would not shock me at all if we ended up running down to the market open low right at right at 10 a.m. It would not really shock me. I think the RTH midpoint will be a really fantastic draw on liquidity because it's resting right below market open. Yeah, this first strike was nice. You know, had I had seen this first strike at this exact time, 9:59, might have taken it, but it's all good. The other issue is I literally can't take it because the risk is too heavy. Because here's one con, right? One con is all the way up there. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to take with my risk. You just hit 120, Pete. Nice. NQ is pretty chaotic right now, and I think the volatility is just a little too much, like for my trading, because I'm not really able to risk one con very easily. But over time, as my account gets bigger, you know that's gonna resolve itself. So I'm not really too worried. But yeah, like I said, I was aware that I could have held this inversion for much longer, especially knowing we were going into the 10 a.m. macro. But you know, guys, with the money, with making money in trading, there's a line between having to be right and making money. And so sometimes you just, you know, when you've been in trading for a while, you understand that you just want to make money, right? That's the key is just show up, actually just take profit. And then yeah, so yeah, that's why I took profit here. It's because you know, this was good accumulation, manipulation, distribution. I didn't expect us to need to go further, so I just took profit. Like I was aware, like if it wanted to, it could have reversed. So I just chose to take profit, right? But obviously, I knew it was pretty likely we could very well continue. I mean, if you measure out this order block, 4 projections puts us here. I mean, that's I took profit at 1 projection. 4 projections is all the way down here. I could have held it, and this would have been a 5.5 R. So it goes to show what you can do at some point in the future, right? Now, though, in all honesty, we've kind of purged this consolidation for the most part, right? Probably ran most of the liquidity in this consolidation. So we could reverse here. We might not need to go to market open lows. I mean, if the market wants to go run this LRLR and go up from here, it could. We have these bullish SMTs. So, you know, it's possible. And this is also the first presented for value gap. So the market filled the first presented for value gap. And now we're getting possibly, we'll just have to see. It's either gonna go, it's gonna interact with this, and then either gonna go up or down, right? And honestly, with this first strike, I'd honestly maybe just take profit at 2 projections, because it just, I don't know, because the reason I would take profit at 2 is because most of the liquidity is right here, and obviously market open low is good, but we don't have to go there. I probably would have just taken profit within this consolidation. So yeah, we might run up to this LRLR now. I think we still have the SMTs. We ended up using Thursday's first percent for value gap. Look at that. You can see the market respecting that. We probably got a 5-second change in state. And it was below both the true opens. This is so cool, guys. Y'all see this, right? Y'all see how first strike is just playing out over and over again, right? There's a 5-second change in state off that Thursday for center for value gap. Once again, I did not see it in the moment, but now we have a breaker. This is a breaker right here. So we might go lower off of this breaker. It's a pretty good breaker. We're forming bearish SMTs as well. It's a 3-minute breaker. And then now we're getting a 15-second change in state here with SMT. There you go. And now we're probably going to go to market open. So this is a good trade. On the retest of this. Well, maybe it is. Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, yeah, we'll just have to see, because right now, honestly, it could just return back up again off this Thursday first percent for value gap, right? Like if I pull this back up, we might just return back up off of this. So I'm open minded, you know. But I do think I like that breaker. So I think that if you just think about it, like this breaker could. We tested it. We might just deliver to market open. Yeah, I'm not doing anything else right now, guys. I already took a dub. I already took my dub for the day. Well, I'm like I said, I have unlimited break evens and wins. So if there's something else I like, I might try something else, but you know. It really is going like you drew it, Chess. It really is. You're the market maker, bro. You are. It's the only explanation. I mean, guys, if you just look at the 3-minute, ignore everything else. Just look at the 3-minute. What does this look like? 3-minute breaker. We tapped it. Now we're expanding lower. Honestly, probably going to draw to London. Like, this just looks like so bearish. If you look at it like this, it looks so bearish. I mean, look at that. That is the most textbook breaker I've ever seen. Probably might want to use this for bias, honestly. Like, maybe I want to see an outside bar form on the low time frame or something. This 3 minute breaker still looks, bearish to me. But once again, if it does want to go up to these low resistance highs, it could. Looks like we might be getting an inversion for value gap here. So this, I'm fine with tape reading this. TDO, not manipulated, unfilled end dog. Yeah, trend is bearish. Yeah, exactly. Higher time frame is bearish. Like, I almost just wonder though, like we might just leave this for later. We might. I mean, this is just a giant 1 hour gap, is it not? Oh, the chart's glitched. Why is the chart glitched? Come on, man. I just want to see if there's a 1 hour gap or not. That is kind of annoying. I want to be able to see if there's a 1 hour for value gap. That is really actually annoying. Well, I can imply if there's one, and clearly there's one, right? Clearly there's an implied gap there. So I don't know. Looks like we just had a Judas swing, and now possibly gonna get silver bullet, like basically like a fair value gap forms after 10, and then we go lower, or actually we'll just have to see. Yeah, we're just in discount. That is true. It is true. Okay, so this 1 minute did inverse, guys. So I'm aware of this inversion. And this inversion could take us up to the LRLR, right? If y'all want to take this trade, this is an option for y'all, right? If you want to take that 1 minute inversion up to the LRLR, if you're bullish, have at it, right? For me, I'm kind of sussed out, and I'm in between ideas, so I'm not taking it. But if you like it, if you like this inversion with SMT, to go run that LRLR, just have at it. This could play out. It's not a bad trade. I personally cannot take it because, once again, quantity is 0.35. I need to be able to risk 1 con. Risking 1 con puts me like that. So honestly, I'm kind of cooked because I can't really take any trades because my sizing is wrong. So I'll just tape read. And yes, I took this trade accidentally with too much size, but I think it was okay. Had it hit stop loss, I would have just been done for the day with a bigger size loss. That's just what I would have done, and it would have been fine. But ideally, I try and keep the risk the exact same always, right? It's just sometimes in real life, the practicality of trading is that you're not going to be able to be perfect and have that perfect risk, because I mean, but I try my best to keep it as standardized as possible. So like I said, this inversion got good signature. It's, purged this consolidation, revisited the first presented for value gap, and we had these SMTs, and now we're having these SMTs. But, and like I said, if the market's bullish, this will play out. But I'm not convinced of being bullish, so I'm not doing anything. If the market's bullish, though, this very well could play out. Like I said, I'm already up 3R, so I'm chilling. I mean, it was supposed on paper. I'm gonna record it in my journal as a 2R because it's actually, if I had taken it, like if I had infinite risk, it would have been 2R. Sorry, that doesn't make any sense. Um, if the trade had been taken like it had been supposed to, it would have been 2R. Unfortunately, it can't have it be that way because you can see, look, right? It's saying 0.7 cons, so not one con, so it ended up being like that, and it's whatever, honestly. Okay, we're now getting a rejection of that breaker again. So, what did I say? Why did I not want to take it? Because I'm not convinced of being bullish at all. And RTH gap below. So, like I said, if the market was bullish, then that could have played out. So this is a really nice change in state right here. Once again, I'm just going to tape read this. We have a 1 minute breaker, 15-second change in state. So let's see if this plays out. Yeah, it's not looking too good. Yeah, so it's nothing really obvious enough, guys, for me. Nothing really obvious enough for me. I'm chilling. I liked this short. That's the only trade I've taken. It's the only trade I've taken. I liked this short. That's the only trade I've taken. Very indecisive market here, guys. Very indecisive. We keep going back and forth and back and forth. Very indecisive. Now we just inverse this to the upside. So this, also does not look bad for longs. Right? Same thing. This could still, the same trade from before, this could play out to the LRLR too. I mean, it's not crap if you can read the like, I think this is readable price action. I really do. But for me, like, I don't have conviction in either side right now. So that's why. But if you have conviction in your side, then cool. I just don't, right? Personally, I don't, because we're trapped between an overnight gap, market open low, and then we're also trapped with this LRLR above. So we're in between two draws in liquidity, and it's not super clear to me which one we want to go to. So that's why, right? The reason I have conviction in this is because you just had a really nice signature with bearish SMT, and we were definitely in pretty extreme premium here. So I figured this was likely to work out. This was really nice. So this is just a tape read. Oh. My time is important. So valid. 5,000 had 85 lot waiting to take and push lower, and 750 had 85 lot. Oh, that's good to know. But price had pushed lower instead to take the 750 and then go up again. Interesting. Yeah, like I said, guys, with being trapped between two draws and liquidity, I personally, I'm not super in favor of anything unless it just becomes really, really obvious, and then maybe. We still have this breaker. We've now came up into it 1, 2, 3 times, and we have a displacement leg here. This is OTE of the displacement leg. I'm just saying, if it wants to reject here, it could. Ooh, look at that. I'm turning on 369 timing. I want to see if this was at 369. Dude, this is looking kind of nice. Stacked bearish SMTs. We have a 3-minute breaker in value gap. Look at this. 3-minute breaker and implied value gap right here. We just got a pin bar. We just got a pin bar that formed at OTE. So y'all could take this pin bar like this. This is a valid trade right here. If this pin bar closed with SMT, this might play out like this, right? Pin bar closed, we might run down 14R. So once again, now we have the 3-minute breaker in value gap. Now we're getting change in state. Okay. We obviously swept out that what is it called? I almost took this trade, guys. I was literally so thinking about it, but I didn't take it. But this is nice. The reason I didn't take it is because I literally don't have everything marked out right now. But and also because I already took a win, so I don't really want to. Okay, let's see how this plays out. Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was obvious enough of a close. Yeah, yeah. Well, there's a reason why I didn't take it. Like it's just it does seem like it's a little bit of a consolidation. Okay, this might be a Wyckoff right here. Maybe. Jake, what trades you take today? I only took one trade, and it was the inversion on the 1 minute at these highs, and I just took it down to these lows. Like this. That was it. That's the only trade I've taken. Nothing else has been obvious enough. In my opinion, right now we're trapped between two draws in liquidity. We're trapped between the overnight gap below, and then we have low resistance highs above. I personally, I'm pretty undecided on which one we have to go to, and so I'm just not doing anything. Man, yeah, very glad I did not try and take that trade, because that trade I was thinking about taking would have sucked. ES inverse the 4 hour for VI gap. Interesting. 55100. So there's sellers at 5100 all the way up here. Yeah, that would make sense. There's just all that LRR, so maybe once we go run it, maybe they'll reverse it. I don't know. What time is it? Okay, market. My live trading window is gonna end somewhat soon. What, like 30 minutes left? 40, 50, 60, 35 minutes left. Yeah, guys. Personally, I'm not in love with anything. It's not clear. In between draws and liquidities at this point, you can see Dodgy's inversion indicator just alerted at me. But we've inversed this 5 minute gap. So very possibly now bias might just be bullish. It just kind of depends, honestly. There's so many factors, right? I just don't like being in between two draws and liquidity. I do not like being in between two draws and liquidity. Like, this could play out, but it also doesn't have to, right? This is where trading is so hard, because I think someone who's new is never gonna understand this. Like, it's just like it's just it's a very personal thing too. Like, you could have a good looking trade, but experience will tell you whether or not to take it. I don't know. That's where you have to have your own conviction, I'd say. And that's where you get that through back testing, and then refine it through forward testing. Yeah, exactly. If the buyers are aggressive, we could just expand to the upside. You can see how all the true opens were manipulated to the downside over here, which is worth noting, I would say. Right? We obviously took all the true opens here. Nothing obvious. I honestly nothing obvious for me. I don't see anything obvious. I'm looking at the 5 second on my other screen, and uh, this was a nice 5 second IFG below all the true opens. I obviously did not see this, but uh, this was a really nice 5 second IFG, and this would actually fit my risk. See how it's saying quantity one. That means I would be able to trade this one with a full contract and be fine. So I think this trade would actually been pretty nice, and then that'd be 5R. I like this. I really like this 5 second IFG long. That is why on this chart I always have the 5 second pulled up, because the 5 second really will always give me like a pretty cohesive view on like any time frames trade. Like for instance, I saw this happening on the 5 second and I knew, okay, this is probably a 1 minute inversion. Then I go over to my other chart and I see, and there's a 1 minute inversion to the downside. And then like for instance, if I see this, I know, oh wow, this is happening on the 5 second. I drop down to the 5 second and look at it. So it gives me like a whole bunch of options essentially. I like this. And then I'd probably honestly just how would you even take this? I'd probably maybe not target that far. Honestly, maybe just target there. Like something like that. Okay, this could be a 2022 model on the low time frame. Okay, I'm gonna tape read this. Well, nah, there's not even a gap there. There's not even a gap there, is there? Hey, I'm still gonna watch this and see. I'm implying that there's a gap there, essentially. Yeah, nothing really for me too. Nothing obvious. Yeah, so I'm kind of treating this as an implied gap, but guys, actually, I feel like I shouldn't even have this on the chart because it's not obvious. I should not have even tape reads on the chart that aren't obvious. Should only tape read things that are actually truly obvious. I don't know why I had that marked out on it. That's stupid. That was really stupid. hmm I'm gonna make a new rule actually. So if something like that happens, so where I I enter a trade and it ends up being, yeah, exactly. If the market's consolidating, low time frame trades are gonna provide, bro. And no one says that, but it's so true. It is so true. And I seek the truth, and if I see something, I'm gonna say it, even if it's not the mainstream opinion. Okay, so what I was gonna say is, a new lesson I learned from today is, let's say I take a trade, and let's say that I enter with one con, but I shouldn't have been able to because it was saying I need to risk zero point 0.7 cons or something like that, and I end up risking more, and it ends up hitting my stop loss. So instead of $40, I lose like 55. If that happens, if I lose more than $50 from trade number one, then if I lose more than $50, then I have to be done for the day. Done for the day because the risk was lost. The risk lost me more than 50. I don't get a second bullet. Fire dryer. So yeah, that's my plan. That's my plan for if I take a trade and it ends up risking a little too much, um, and it ends up being a loss, then I'll have to be done for the day and I won't get a second bullet. And if it happens on the second bullet, then I'm gonna get liquidated because of my daily loss limit. Sorry, I'm just writing this down because I think it's an important lesson. Picture this the case. Okay. Alright, I got a plan for if that happens. Once again, guys, we inverse this 5 minute here. So honestly, it's possible that we just end up running up to this low resistance liquidity. Buyer rage bidding. You think it's gonna reverse to the downside? I don't know, dude. I think we inverse this 5 minute gap. Obviously, there's pretty good low resistance liquidity above. If it wants to go higher, it very well might. It very well might. But this is an external gap. We'll see. But if the low resistance liquidity is good enough, we might cut through it. So we'll see. I'll just tape read this. I'm gonna go on a little bit of a walk because I'm not really seeing anything right now. I am trying to stay on the charts till the end of my live trading window. Did Dodgy's indicator alert this? I would think so. Yeah, now we formed a new bearish S&T. Yeah, like I said, this is very, very yucky. I wonder if this would be considered Venom model or not. I don't think this liquidity purged any. I don't think this purged buy stops, so probably not. At this point, we very well might go lower, because now we got bearish S&T. You'll see how fast these markets flip, and why I'm always on my toes, and why I just, most of the time I just do tape reads because of how fast these markets flip. I only trade like with a real trade when it's like really, really good conviction, like it's hard to explain, but it's like the market will flip around like it's so fast, especially if we get a new S&T. And that's also why I actually like trading low time frames, because I know how fast the markets flip, especially when it's in a consolidation. So that was a 1 minute inversion. So if y'all liked that, you could have taken it, but yeah, there. Whoops, wrong way. Oh, still grabbed the wrong way. Yeah. Now we're forming a bullish SMT. I don't know if that's gonna hold. This very well could run us down to the market open low. Honestly, it's possible. This could deliver us here, but we're definitely in a consolidation, so we'll see. Okay, now we have this PM first presented for value gap again, right? The same exact one. So something to watch is, do we come up and then get a change state back lower? Or do we sweep out the lows and then change state higher? Yeah, It'll flip so fast, guys. That's just the nature of these markets. It's seeking to run liquidity. So look at that 15-second inversion. That's a fun one. That's a fun one. This would be a pretty cool trade. And then run it down. That's 7R right there. That's a fun one. This is why the faster you can spot an SMT, the better. Like, genuinely. And then we also had it aligned with a 1-minute BPR. Oh, this was a good trade. Wow. Once again, the faster you spot these, like if you can spot a 15-second inversion with an SMT right as soon as it occurs, you're about to cook, right? You'll see how that 15-second inversion was the top. So we have a flow state where it's a 15-second inversion for value gap and a change state of delivery, delivering from a 1-minute BPR. That was cool. And we manipulated the true open. And we were above all these true opens. This is a good one. This is a really good one. 1-minute BPR, 15-second inversion for value gap / change state delivery. Either one. That's why you'll see me just all of a sudden randomly be like, okay, entering shorts. Because usually it means I see something like that I just need to act on right then and there. Like, it's like, it's either you act on it and go instantly off of instincts, or you're gonna miss it. So that's why I'll do that sometimes. Yeah. It is interesting. Guys, I'm probably not taking another trade today at this point because 15 minutes left in my live trading window. I definitely want today to be a winning day. So, you know. And guys, I'm going to be recording this trade as 2R and not 3R, even though I made 3R. I'm going to be recording this trade as 2R because technically the trade, had it been taken according to my back testing, would have to have stop loss here, making it 2R, not 3R. So, I record the trades as exactly they're supposed to be taken with perfection. So, and that's how I've been doing it. So, even though technically the risk ended up being 3R, I'm going to record it as a 2R because that's just how I do it. Guys, I might just be done for my live trading window today. I think I'll just be done because, yeah, I don't think we're going to get anything special in the next little bit. So I'm going to wrap it up. Are you on paper right now or trading on iFunded? I'm saving to trade on a personal. That's my plan. So, yep. So that means I'm trading paper right now. So, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I have nothing against that. It's all just practice for me. So, okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream here with a nice W day. Alright. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys